Today we will see boundary, and in boundary we have so many options like block, rest, selected surface, shallow, solute. So these are some type of boundary. So we can create a boundary from this panel, or you can also use this explorer and this boundary option, and we can create the same thing from here also, right? So boundary are the closed curve or the collection of the curves which prevents the entry and the exit of the tool from the bounded area. We use this boundary to define the cutting area, or if you want to trim or you want to skip the closed area, that time also we can use this boundary. So this boundary is very important so that we can create required portion, required surface to be machined, or you can skip any required face or boundary. So my first option is block boundary. So block boundary is nothing but it is just similar to the block area, whether it is a rectangular, whether it is cylindrical. So whatever it is, so the boundary will generate according to the block. Let's see. For first this block option, I need to define one block. So I'm using block, and this is circular body, so I'm using cylinder, and calculate and draw. So you will see this, and I want this diameter as 45, accept, and see this is the boundary, this is the block. Now I want to define this, so click here and go to this block, and here in block I'm just applying. See, the boundary is now created, right? So it is according to the shape of your block. So cancel it, and from here I'm just deleting this, delete this boundary. Again I'm going to this block, and this time I'm using a box, right, and accept. Now come to this boundary and use this block, and here the boundary is block boundary. Okay, but just you need to click this apply, and it will automatically create, and see the boundary is here. Okay, so just delete it or leave it, no problem. I am going to define one work plane and make that work plane as active. Again adjust it, accept, and now I want the same option block and apply, and see the boundary will come on the top of this block. So where the top of this block, where this work plane, so the work plane origin will work for the boundary plane, right? So this one is the first option, and I'm going to change this from box to cylinder, accept it, and delete this boundary, delete, delete. Okay, and come to this boundary and apply, accept, right? And for this rest and this shallow, okay, so how to work for this, hide this, and I'm selecting a surface, right? So this is the surface, and I want to create the boundary for the selected surface. Okay, so surface is select. Now come to this, and tool, the tool is not defined, so tool will help you to uh, create the boundary. How, I will tell you. Just create a tool with suppose 6. Okay, okay, and now apply, see this, and if you will check this, see my tool is here. So this is the radial gap, means this is a 3. Okay, so this will work according to the tool. If we are using, like, select this, again select the surface, and this time I'm going to use a smaller tool with 2 dia, and just apply, see, now it is a little bit closer. Okay, so this is the another thing, means you can also create this kind of selected surface. Okay, so next we will see shallow boundary. So shallow boundary creates the boundary at the junction of horizontal area and the vertical area. Okay, so with the help of this boundary, we can define horizontal areas in different and vertical area are different. So this boundary will separates both area. Okay, and uh, we can use this boundary to create the toolpath. So this is a shallow boundary. Now hide this tool. Sorry, hide this tool. Now for shallow boundary, click this and the tool is 2 mm and just apply, say this. So it is separating where the horizontal areas are there and the vertical. So this is dividing, this upper one is the horizontal face and here it is vertical or taper. So this is the way. And you can also define this angle or this thickness, like I want 5, this thickness, apply. So this will extend, this will offset 5 mm and I want 0.5 and apply. So it is offset, still it is offset, so I just want 0, so 0 will match. And here axial thickness, you can also use axial thickness, like I want 2 and apply. So in axial direction this will move. Okay, 1 mm this gap is right now. Okay, click here and axial thickness, I don't want axial thickness, so click this and apply and accept. Okay, so this is shallow boundary. Now this solute boundary will create boundary outside the selected surface or your model. So solute boundary dialog box create the boundary as the solute of the model, means outside of the model, and it will depend upon the shape of the model, taking its contour from the solute of the model projected in the z direction. Okay, so let's say this one. Okay, now select this solute and on model. So on model it will create, and my working tool is 2mm tool. Okay, and apply. The whole model will select automatically, and see this is here, and see the shape of this outer surface is like this. So same way this is created, and I want to add some thickness like 1 and apply, right, and it is 0. So this is the radial gap, means if the tool is 2mm, so 1mm this will come. So this is the solute boundary. Okay, in upcoming lecture I will show you how to use this boundary. Okay, and next is user define. So user define is very important, and most of the time we can use this user define. It's depend upon your selection, right? So let's see how to use this user define. And in user define you can select the some previous one pattern or any toolpath, right? Or you can use this composite curve, select this composite curve, and I want, click. Okay, see this red line represent the boundary where the curves are going. All these curves are now selecting, and it is showing you where it is moving. See, it is going downward, but I don't want there. So select where you want, just click on the arrow and it defines the direction. Click, click, upper one, and zoom it this direction. See, this option are still available. When the boundary will close, this option will automatically close. Right now it is connected, this option are now closed, and click this save. So this one boundary is saved. If you want to define any other boundary in the same 6 boundary, so we can use again this shape. So click here and okay. Now we have two boundary, 1 and 2. Tick right and again accept. So this boundary is 6 and accept. So in this way we can use this user define. So next is point contact point boundary, and this dialog box creates the boundary that limits the tool contact point rather than tool tip position, right? So this is the main difference between surface boundary and contact point boundary. Okay, now I have selected this surface. Okay, this is the surface which I've selected. Now go to this and contact point and click over this model. So the model surface which we have selected, it will create the boundary for this. It is not visible properly. Let's see, wait, show this. These are not visible now. Okay, right, it is also visible, right? User define is this one. It is not visible. Okay, no problem. Again I'm selecting this area, this face. So click this and see, I have selected this and now it is visible. Now go to this contact point and click over model, and this will highlight and accept. Now see, right? So in this way we can create, and one more option is still remain, this remain part, this rest boundary. So rest boundary is just same as rest milling, right? The material which is left because of bigger tool. So for rest material it will create a boundary, right? It is important option, and I will show you. Wait. So now in this model, see, I have used 6 end mill for roughing, and again 4 end mill for finishing, and 4 end mill for this flat face. Now because of this small area I want to create the boundary for this rest material. So I need this rest boundary, and here the reference tool and my working tool. So working tool is 4, and I will show you this 4 is having 2 dia. Okay, and delete this. I will create it again, rest, and the tool is this 4. Okay, and the reference tool is a tool which I have used previously. Okay, so the tool is this 3. So 3 tool I'm going to use, and now just apply. See, here the material is left, and now I have created the boundary for this area and expand by 1, and I just want to expand by 0.5. Okay, now suppose I want to accept, it is okay, click, and now you can use directly operation for this rest area. So select this constant Z. I will tell you how to work with this, and my tool is this 4, and limit, come to this limit, and this limit is second one, right? The second is the rest boundary, and no, I'm not touching anything, just calculate, and the tool will calculate the program for this rest boundary only, right? So hope you understand this, how to create the boundaries, and if you have any query you can comment me, you can